Welcome everybody. This is Dicebag here again, artist, game designer, Will Better, and occasional VTuber, and we're doing some art today, as you may have noticed in the title. got a lot of work to do on Crytures still, so we're just grinding away at it, little by little. So today, we're working on some minions for one of the mythic creatures, which is going to be important for the first setting guide book, talking about the region of Root Run and the towns and villages there and the surrounding areas. This guy is the spawn of the Verdant King, which is the mythic creature that rules that area. And of course, he's been bound by the Duke of Root Run, who now owns that region by law of the physics of the world, for lack of a better term. So these guys are going to be handed out to some of his loyal followers, some of his top brass, his hand-picked chosen ones. And we're gonna need that because I spent a bunch of time making guys for a completely different mythic creature that's probably not even gonna be in the first setting guide, even if they are cute. So yeah, we're gonna get on this, but before that, let's hop into the voice chat for artistic savants over here. If anybody wants to chat, they can come in. There we go. Alright. So let's start drawing up this guy. I already got the sketch made up. I did this at work because work is boring a lot of the time. But if you bring a sketchbook, it's not so bad. Although this week I had a hard time staying awake. I need a bigger brush there. Yeah, recently a bunch of our machines at work keep going down. That means we don't end up doing a whole lot during our shift. But they still want us to come in and, do all the things. So I'm just mostly coming in and babysitting one machine the entire time while it works on a 8-hour job. Then when it's done, I swap it out and put in a new one. And sit around and wait to finish for another 8 hours. Gives me lots of time to think, though. And I got lots of ideas running through my head, most of which I haven't even been able to write down recently. Started doing some character bios last night and kind of fleshed out exactly how the the social structure for this first region would work. Mostly trying to come up with ways that you can incorporate some feudal system into the game world, and I think I got some ideas. there's also just the fact that we're gonna need more than just like the single town of the region that I was planning to make. You gotta make little villages here and there. Ugh! Can't get this line right. A while back I was making the Viridian Order, which is the group that's mostly going to be using these guys here. And I think the leadership of that group are going to be like lords and ladies and have their own kind of rule over the little villages and stuff. In addition to the Duke's old adventuring buddies. Obviously, they're gonna have their own land because they are the ones who helped him bind the mythic creature, after all. Be kind of ungrateful if they didn't get a share. So yeah, I've actually been updating some of the older character bios slightly, and then throwing in some information for some of the new guys like the Viridian Order and stuff. Started writing up a bio for Celine, one of my favorite character designs that I made. I had to tweak some others because they were all just based out of Root Run. And if we're going to have more villages, rather than just a single town that are all ruled by some local lord, then it's going to make sense to spread some of the main NPCs around a little bit. Especially if they're related to one of the lords, like the Archmage son, or son of the Archmage. Levi Lord, as opposed to Lucas Lord, the Archmage himself. So we're gonna get, let's see, Casper, obviously, and then his niece Viveka is going to live in his little hamlet. The past few days I've been mostly coming up with names and stuff and actual layouts of how these would be arrayed on a map. Oh, come on. Ooh, dang it. Okay. Sometimes this new monitor is a little too sensitive. for the strokes. You know, I could probably stand to have a slightly smaller eraser. That might help a little bit. Come on, man. There we go. I'm pretty fond of the serpentine body for these guys. It's a nice way to go for like the beanstalk look, while still making them look mobile and aggressive. Although if I'm going to be working on the Viridian Order much more, I really need to make a fourth member? Yeah, fourth member. I think he's going to be like a ranger type, and he'll probably specialize in beast creatures. There's not really too many beast creatures I have that are just like all that beastly, honestly. I kind of need to make another one of them. Might even make it a beast plant to fit the order's theming. Alright. I'll just throw the tail on right here. Or not the tail, the whole thing's the tail. Leaf. Bean snake? Kinda. Or like just a growing little bean boy. How's it going, Kohath? Whoops. Life is good, the rain is crisp, just here to big chill. Had to stop and take a double take on your zoomerisms there. Big chill. Well, personally, I'm freaking tired. Work had us do like some 12-hour shifts this week. Told us last week to come in at 6 and we'd stay till 6. And that's what we did for the first couple days. Then they're like, yeah, just go home after 10 hours today and then come at it back at your normal time. It's like, okay, thanks. We just decided to leave the machines running in between shifts so we could catch up that way, and they don't have to pay us extra, and we don't have to be there for another hour and a half, which they could have done in the first place, because we've done that before. This don't look so great. Gotta fix this curve here. That's better. And look at that. Another place where the eraser got through. Why didn't they start that way? Well, the thing is, how do we explain this? Each shift, of which there are 2 shifts, has 2 guys working in the laser department where I work. But the problem is that a bunch of our machines keep going down. Well, like 2 of our machines keep going down. So ultimately we only have like 2 machines to work with a bunch of the time. And one of those machines is the ones that runs the parts that take like 8 hours. So if we only have one of those machines that can run the 8-hour parts, that's a lot of production time being cut down by the fact that the other one is down. So they just wanted to make sure that we were having as much uptime as possible with the one machine. So I guess you'd say, if you consider how many machines we have compared to how many people we have, we're actually overstaffed. Well, that's just because the machines aren't working. But like I said earlier in the stream, it does give me time to sit around and think of new things for Crytures. As long as I don't fall asleep. Do Crytures have souls? Adam asks. Crytures have a spirit, I would say, which would be like a cheapo bootleg version of a soul. So no, they don't have souls like humans do. Ugh. Look at these ad bots coming to my channel. Alright. So for this, we're gonna have to bring this thing up. The spear just ain't long enough. What's the difference between a soul and a spirit? How do you describe that? I would say in the creature's context, a spirit is not like a unique thing. If that makes any sense. A spirit would be like a mass-produced soul. And it would basically mean the difference between something being sentient and something being sapient. So creatures are sentient, they might even be fairly intelligent, but they're not sapient in the way humans are. If you re-alived a creature, it would not have any memories. Well, that's going to be a difficult thing to do, because when creatures die, they literally just dissolve into, like, goo and... goo and dust. That's where the creature essences come from, that people use to work magic. Is it works like a catalyst. So creatures themselves don't leave behind any kind of bodies or anything. So once a creature's dead, it's dead. Now, if your creature has been bound to a binding crystal, then the whole body and soul of the creature are attached to that. So if they die while bound in a crystal, they will just reform into the crystal. Create a construct with the memories of my poor Cheapy. Koheth, your Cheapy is still alive last I checked. I have been kind of thinking about what are you gonna do to your Cheapy, Koheth? It's already undead. And speaking of undead, I was thinking it might be interesting to have, like, the equivalent of a fossil Pokemon, but, like, revived through necromancy. But something like that would actually have to be, like, a like how you put this, a pre-apocalyptic actual normal animal, because otherwise they wouldn't leave behind bones. Ooh. Zombie anteater. Let's see. I hate curvy things like this. How does the undead type work, you ask? How does the ghost type work in Pokemon? I guess it's more like they're not technically things that have died. They're just kind of like the remnants of, I don't know how to present this. I'm gonna have to like write it out and grab a thesaurus or something. But hey, Dingus, how's it going? Let's see. Alright. Were you just streaming, Dingus? There we go. That's how we draw a proper curve. You just do it real fast. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Well, that sucks. But at least you get to come by and hang out here. I've been slacking on my streaming because I've been so freaking tired. Even today, I woke up from a nap and was like, I don't want to stream. But I gotta do something. Right? Sometimes it's just a pain to set everything up for a stream, especially if you're not feeling it. If you don't make the art, the humans will remain relevant after all. Is that a comment on me being a cyborg or what? Yeah, something against my mechanical nature, Kohath. Let me assure you, the mechanical parts only work half the time. The magical parts screw it up most of the time. Who? Getting into character, dingus? Who's this creature, you ask? This is tentatively called a soul stalk. And it is... Oh man, I just described this earlier. How did I say it? This is a minion of a mythic creature called the Verdant King, which is going to be important in the first setting guide that I make for Crytures. Oh, okay, dingus. Let's see. Adam says, honestly, I think we'll only achieve true AI sapience when robots get depression. My question is, how do you know the robot has depression? Oh, ah! Do you just believe what the robot tells you? What if it's just faking it? This is why psychology is a pseudoscience. You could say the same thing about humans. I guess with humans, you always have yourself as a reference point. How does a mythic creature decide who it bonds to? It doesn't. You have to go out and capture it yourself. Okay, what the hell's going on? Oh, I still have the thing selected. Was wondering why I wasn't making any marks on the canvas. Yeah, mythic creatures would not be bonded at all if they had their way. Do mythic creatures have souls? Probably not. Maybe, though. You know what? I guess they could have souls. Thing is, with a mythic creature, is if you kill a mythic creature and it dissolves into essence like the others, eventually it comes back. So it's persistent. So I guess it would fit the definition of a soul that I gave earlier. Let's make sure this guy's got a nice grimace there. He'll fit right in with the Judge Dredd characters. Look at him. This looks off, though. This here. That's better. If I can get the... Screen sensitivity is screwing me again. There it goes again. I'm not even touching the canvas. How you register that as a touch? Does it have the same memories? Probably. Ultimately, I want to leave some mystery to how the world works, so I'm not gonna flesh out every single detail of the mechanics. And there's the fact that in the time period that Crytures takes place in, the first person to bind a mythic creature is still alive. So a lot of these questions would not have been answered yet. Alright, that should work for the lines. Now let's get up the other guy for a reference so we can copy some of the colors. Might change it up a little bit. Just for, you know, doesn't look like I copied my own homework. Can the Verdant King create servants, or do they form naturally? He creates them. It'd be kind of like laying an egg, except it's a seed. And the process for that would probably be different for each mythic creature. Ah! Got to change my settings. Why, are you kidding me? What is this? Where's the gap? I think this program is screwing with me. I don't see no gap anywhere near here. Oh wait, there it is. Alright, that and the little stems get the same color. You know what, I guess... Well, let's see how it works. Not sure if I should make the leaves on his body the same color as the others, or what? Alright. He looked a little frail in that region. Should the head be a bit more yellow? Maybe. Maybe the head should be darker. Because in the third form, he's gonna be a lot more armored up. You won't be able to see most of his face, probably. So maybe he should kind of be getting in that, going in that direction. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe the rest of him should just be lighter. We'll shift it towards a bluer hue. That might be too saturated. Alright, let's try something like so. We can even use the old color for his leaves here. Make them a little different. That might work. Almost makes him more snake-like, actually. Which I don't think is a bad thing. No, let's go with that for now. I can always go back and tweak it later if I don't like it. Let's see if I missed any gaps. There's a gap. There's a gap. Oh, hello. Why didn't you spill out on that gap, huh? There's a little gap. It's a tiny little gap. You probably can't even see that he's on the screen. Ah, what is this? Now that you definitely can't see on the screen. Oh, now you can. The hell? Get out of here. There we go. All right. Okay. Now that my artism has been satisfied. What if the Verdant King reforms via soul stalk, absorbing his soul and morphing into him, taking on the mantle, so to speak? I would say that that's too close to the metamorphosis mechanic, and I want to make those as separate as possible, because it's already going to be kind of rough for me to come up with like unique minion creatures that aren't just like smaller versions of the mythic creature itself. So that's a distinction I'd like to keep as much as possible. Alright, go back to white paper. Let's merge these layers and throw a color on top of them. No more black lines. Oh, now I see another gap. Yeah, I should have just left it all white. That seems to be showing the gaps more than anything else. What the hell? This? Yeah, see that, right? Got some big old gaps left. Alright. Let's throw some shading on this guy. I'll use a blue. This guy probably won't be using very complex shading. So the way mythic creatures reform might be unique to them, but I think that's something that players shouldn't even be privy to. Or anyone for that matter. It should be something very mysterious. Uh-oh. Lost my color there. You know what? I should make a palette for my shade colors. Ugh. Oh, well, let's go ahead and give it a little bit of detail in here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. Oh, I see another gap. Hmm. Does a mythic creature have to obey the commands of the one it's bonded to, or do they have to convince them? They would function basically the same way as other creatures. So, by default, they would obey their conjurer's commands, but if you abuse them or make them mad, then they're gonna start breaking through the built-in control mechanisms of the binding crystals. What the hell was that? And that's represented with the affinity and enmity mechanics. So, but mythic creatures are going to probably have something a little extra that you have to do to keep them appeased. Like they'll have special taboos that will trigger gaining enmity if you break them. Like, I think the Verdant Kings is probably going to be, if you step on a flower, he will gain enmity. But that's something that players aren't going to have to really do much about, since he's already bound. Does the Verdant King have a personality? Yeah, he's kind of grumpy. Let's see. Let's see. The Verdant King's personality is probably written pretty well into his face. Let me bring up a picture of him. Which I need to probably do a little tweaks on his design anyways. At some point. There he is. Yeah, he's definitely an older one. He still has a black outline. There we go. Oh no. What's going on here? There we go. Okay, now we're layered properly. There you go. That is current design for the Verdant King, which could use a little tweaking. And definitely some cleaning up. Anyways, we need to give him some highlights now. That's what I meant to do there. That's definitely a thing that could be added in, yes. Though most often, you'd probably run into Crytures. Well, most often you'd run into them if you're coming up against the Verdant, or not the Verdant, the Viridian Order in some capacity. But that would assume that you're a bad guy. But pre-binding, Crytures would patrol around looking for anyone disturbing the king's territory. I really would love to make like a comic or something for Crytures. It just takes up so much time just making the game. And you'd be able to see all that little stuff like that, what you just mentioned, and have, like you just mentioned, in action. Am I ever gonna make an evil campaign module? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, ultimately. There might be something along those lines. So far, most of the evil groups I've come up with are not just like completely debased, horrible people. The first group is obviously going to be the artisans that I've been kind of building up. And in the beginning, they wouldn't even have a mythic creature or a mythic conjurer to lead them. And part of their whole philosophy is that they don't really like that system of nobility. And the whole path with the artisans would make a good adventure, or not, what do you call that? Adventure path? Is that what you call it for a bunch of connected campaigns? And of course, there's the black pawns that I've been toying around with recently. And they operate like a thieves guild, but they claim to they claim that their leader has the real authority to rule the capital city. So they're kind of like a dissident group. But they're not going to be in the World Builder's Guide to Root Run. I'll have to save them for later. Are the artisans a secret society kind of like the Freemasons? Kinda, yeah. And I guess the Black Pawns would be an even more secret society. But besides secret societies, there's another one that I was thinking about, another bad guy group that you might run into, that might actually make it into the first book. And I don't really have a name for them, but they're basically going to be like your typical brigand thieves type of guys that you'd find waylaying you at on the side of the road. And they would have a mythic conjurer that backs them up. So they'd have their own little minion creatures to go along with it. No, I'm not fond of how this looks. Right here. Let's try this. Yeah, let's go with that. I need to redo the lighter highlights though. Alright, eye time. Oh, right. That don't look bad. I was thinking maybe I should give him like a white pupil, maybe, just to make him a little different than the previous one. Let's try it. Yeah, not liking the outline. Let's see, how did I do the... Okay. Go like so. I will just leave the gleam off of that one there. Ah. Shave this down so it's a little more, or less nuanced, actually. Simplification. That's what we're going for. Yeah. It's looking alright, I think. A little bit lopsided on this side. Oops. Alright, now let's just select the entire dang thing, because we can do that in CSP. That should work. Just need to make a little adjustment there. Alright, let's crop this up closer to his body and then we'll call it finished. play around with the next thing I have in mind. There we go. Change canvas size. Been trying to keep their image sizes kind of relative to one another. So this guy's actually got a bigger image than Creebean over down here. That way when they're put together, it's not like they have big old discrepancies in their line widths and everything. Oh, wait.
Forgets to sharpen or soften the edges, Mushmouth. Almost forgets to do it. Can't go around finishing it with sharp edges like that. Just don't fit the art style.
There we go. You know what? Screw it. I got beef with my shading over here. I'm gonna kick myself if I don't do this, so might as well. Beanstalk looks like it should have more curves and the shine underneath the fold. I'm not too worried about it. I'm trying to stick kinda close to the Pokemon style. And their shading is actually way more simple than even what I've got here. Tone it down a bit might help. Alright, now I'm calling it done. Okay. Now let's go ahead and throw this on Minds and Twitter before we get on to the next thing. Shut up, Brave. Wait a second, what the hell is this? Make that a clipping mask, stupid thing. Now we're gonna have to save this again. Alright. Now I think we're ready to share it. Alright. Creatures, art, TTRPG, Pokemon. What else can we tag it with? Character design? There we go. Now for Tweeter. The Tweeter. Alright, here we go. And on to the next thing. Next thing, we're gonna make some weird stuff. Yeah, that's good proportion. Sure, whatever. Gotta get into more nitty-gritty of the world building here. Have I come to a conclusion about how Malim should look? Not yet, no. I think he should probably look less segmented for a start. But in specifics, I'm not sure. I'm not too fond of some of the features he has going. Some color shifting might be in order too. Let's see. What are we gonna do? We need to make Meat plants. Something I always talk about and rarely ever draw. We're gonna try and design one today. Specifically, we're gonna be doing a hive type of meat plant. We're gonna try and make some chicken nuggets here. And design a little hive for them to rest in and feed. Get a whole description written up for these kinds of things. Looks a little like a 5th edition D&D mimic. Huh. I'm not too familiar with the specifics of 5th edition myself. You know what? I got a search engine right here. I can look it up. Okay, I see what you mean. It's got the teeth. Alright. So first order of business, we're going to make a chicken nugget hive. The way this is going to work is that some of these things are going to basically be just sedentary animals that spawn smaller mobile versions of itself. Or not necessarily itself, but you get the idea. And those mobile versions will basically run around and bring back food for the hive organism. And so when you're out in the wilderness and you need food, you can go over here, look for one of these hive things and pluck off some nuggets as they're coming around. Because let's face it, you're not going to be eating any creatures. They dissolve as soon as you kill them. We'll kind of try to make the stalk look like a chicken foot. That's why you bite in while they're living. Kohath. Come on, man. You don't want to be sucking in raw essences from creatures. That's a good way to get sick. Probably get some kind of poisoning from that. Let's see. Probably want to give it some kind of tail feathers. Just sprinkle the essence over your meat bush like salt. Yeah, that's right. That's no joke. That's probably how the cooking profession is going to work out if I ever actually get it figured out. What does aberrant taste like? I don't know, man. I don't think you want to taste aberrant essences. My question is, what do we do with the face side of this thing? Because I don't want it to have an actual face. It probably should have a mouth, though, so it can be fed. So maybe we just... do like so. And we give it a comb. This is looking less creepy than I thought it would. It's actually kind of goofy looking. Yeah, but spiciness isn't, it's not poison. I don't know, is this too on the nose? Literally just like, yeah, here's a chicken, but it can't move. Can the cooking skill be used to disguise poison? Well, if I were to implement the cooking profession, it would involve magic to some extent. If we're gonna be eating essences. So that would be how you turn the poisonous properties of it into something useful. Thinking maybe the key to making this look less like an actual chicken is just to give it like multiples of the actual features. And you make something that tastes normal but is poisonous. I think I was working on some stuff like that like a week or two ago. Let's see. Let's bring up the Google Docs and see what I have written in there for the latest stuff. Let's see, Artificer... Agronomist probably has this stuff. I was playing around with some ideas for using poison with the injury mechanic to represent it. Produce. We got blazeberries, we got drops, we got freeze drops, we got glitter beans, we got hydroop, live leaf, mud nugget, Nimbud, Primaling, Plum Blind. Rotlink. Okay, yeah. When a person ingests the fluids of a Rotlink, they suffer a fitness injury and cannot regain health until the injury is healed. Shuttercap. When a person inhales or ingests the spores of a Shuttercap, they suffer an agility injury and cannot meditate until the injury is healed. So I guess if you want to mix it into food, that would be I'd kind of be up to your DM on how to actually function. Personally, I'd probably make it what would it be? Like a sense plus sense and legerdemain probably would be the ones that would make sense most. Whoops. Alright. So obviously the chicken hive is going to produce its chicken nuggets by laying eggs. There's the one that got out. So this is a chicken hive? Yes, this is a chicken hive. Let's see. How big should the chicken nuggets be? Probably smaller than the egg. We'll use that as a size reference. Now what? Maybe we should draw a big version of the chicken nugget. Of course, they'll have wings. They'll have beaks of their own. Creatures have any use for food? Yeah. They would be eating chicken nuggets, definitely. You know what? It's more like this, really. The main thing I'm trying to do when I'm making these meat plant type of things is to think about how they would function biologically and then try to give them useful applications for like farming and agriculture and stuff. Obviously you could keep a chicken hive like you would a beehive. And then it would give you eggs and everything, and you could grab the chicken nuggets. But you'd have to keep them fed. Are there any creatures that mimic food as a trap? Not right now, but there could be. Why does the hive lay eggs? Because chickens lay eggs. How else are you gonna get eggs? It's got to give birth to the nuggets somehow. But normally the chicken nuggets will probably just get around crawling like so. But then to reach the mouths to feed the hive, they'll be able to fly a little bit. So he'll have a worm or something. In his mouth. Are chicken nuggets sentient? I would not describe them as such. But I guess that depends on how you view it. They might be about as sentient as ants, which I think of as more like a colonial organism, just on a larger degree. Life in Creatures doesn't exactly follow the same rules as you might see in real life, so we're taking some liberties. Do normal snails exist? Yes, they probably would. Stuff like insects and stuff along those lines would definitely exist. You'd have like butterflies, ants, and stuff like that still existing in the creature's world. The basic gist is that like life has gone down one of two paths in the creature's world. Either it's evolved into creatures or it's devolved into stuff like this. And I would put most insects in this category. Especially the ones that are just kind of... they just function as part of the ecosystem. Like I said, ants, bees, butterflies, things like that. They're very short-lived and they just kind of eat, breed, and die, and that's it. Let's throw some more. In here. When it comes to nugget creatures like this, well, not creatures, I keep saying that word, I'm so used to it. I don't have a good name for these kinds of things yet, unfortunately. But when it comes to things like the nuggets, they would, well, you might notice I deliberately don't put eyes and things on them. They're just kind of very rudimentary organisms. Insect-type creatures are right at the cusp. There are no insect-type creatures, actually. There might be, beast classes that mimic insect types, but as far as the type itself, there is no insect type. That would be wrapped up in the beast type. And I don't have any insect-like beast classes at the moment. But I'll probably add one for like spiders and stuff like that eventually. Because obviously, spinning webs is definitely a thing you can do in game mechanics that's common for combat and all that. Endemic life? Ah. I'll have to keep that one in mind. But yeah, I haven't really been able to find a good term for it. It doesn't really... There isn't such a thing in actual real-life biology, so... just kind of making it up as I go. I think so far I just kind of always described them as sedentary animals. But I don't even want to use the term animals. Really. Vertebrates and invertebrates. Yeah, that might be applicable in some of them, but actually I really want some of these meat plant things to have, like, bones. Because that gives you, like, an exotic kind of building material that you could make. And also specifically has, like, an aesthetic thing to it. Like, it's a common fantasy trope to make armor out of, like, animal parts and stuff. With fur and all that. And bones for weapons and stuff like that. So I kind of like to keep bones as a common thing. Probably not going to be making much out of chicken hive bones, though. I think I have said nuggets are specifically boneless. They're basically slugs. Little feathered slugs. This activates your Monster Hunter brain. Some play on the word subconscious. You could definitely call them sub-something. Only thing that's coming to mind right now is subhuman, but that wouldn't work. Sub-creature, maybe? I don't know. This thing's looking better than the one I doodled in my notebook at work. Honestly. That was basically just a feather bush, the one that I drew then. It looks real plain, but I really don't want to give the hive, like, a wing or anything. It needs to be clear that it's immobile. Hey there, Skunk's Workshop. Don't think I've seen you at one of my streams yet. You came from mines, didn't you, Skunks? I think I might want to start coloring this thing now instead of playing around with it. YouTube. You cut me off the music. Let's see. Yeah, I thought so. I've seen your post going around recently. Let's see. I don't remember exactly what you do, though. But the name stuck. The name stuck. Let's see. Canvas size, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, let's get us some chicken coloring here. Alrighty, and of course chicken nuggets are going to be the same colors. Oh, that was a mistake. Alright, now the tail. Let's get ourselves a rooster pick here. I am using Clip Studio Paint right now. Look at them feathers. Lots of gaps in this pick because I was so sloppy with the lines. Have I ever tried Magma Studio? What's Magma Studio, Kohath? A draw pile competitor, but it's browser based. Oh, so you weren't just misspelling Manga Studio then. There's an actual program called Magma Studio. Could definitely use a different draw pile version. I was thinking about getting people back together for a Gardic phone thing again for the holidays. Actually. And of course I drew a bunch of that on the wrong thing. Alright. Let's throw a little basic shading on this thing. Alright. Does this thing have leaves? No, it would not have leaves. This thing gets all its nutrition from its spawn, I think. It might have roots though. That would probably be a thing. Or some equivalent of it. Them. It does have feathers. How does this tree start? I haven't entirely figured that out yet. It'd probably function much like a a bee colony where it would produce like basically a queen or something, a small queen that would be mobile and able to, let's say, roost somewhere and then form into its own hive. Probably color the worm. The worm. You have a little tongue inside there too. The chicken bush. I don't know, I like calling it a hive. I guess technically there's not enough room for them to get up inside there and like actual be a hive, but more like an ant colony or something like that above ground. Does the Creatures world have seasons though? I've been thinking about that, and I think the seasons of the Creatures world is going to I think like each type of creature is going to be tied to a specific season, and that's like just part of the mechanics of the world. Yes, I do think the Creatures world is going to have seasons. It's just kind of a question of how we're going to actually represent that and explain that. Because I'm not even sure if the Creatures world is a globe or not yet. And I might never decide. I might just keep that as one of the mysteries of the world. Nah, the hives wouldn't be parasitical, they'd just be their own organisms. Whoop. If it was a parasite, it probably wouldn't need nuggets to feed itself. If it's not global, that's really weird and cool. Like, you're welcome to this hecked up island where everything is goofy, don't die now. Huh. Yeah, I've definitely had some ideas about how the Creatures world could be physically constructed. And there's some interesting ones, but I haven't really sold myself on any of them specifically. I was thinking maybe it's like a broken up world where it used to be like a globe, but it was like split into pieces by a catastrophe. Because Creatures is supposed to be like kind of a distant post-apocalyptic world where things have happened in the past to cause them to be the way they are. But I haven't settled on the nature of that said catastrophe quite yet. All I really know is that it changed the normal animals into the creatures. Or into these sedentary things over the course of many ages. Now humans gotta contend with all that garbage. Poor humans. They used to be top dogs. But they probably pissed off God or something. Is the ocean endless or is it on a finite sphere? I haven't decided yet. I will say before Creatures I was making a domain which did specifically take place on an endless ocean with a bunch of continents that drift on top of it. But I don't really want to use that specific setting style for both of the games that I have published. Need to get back into domain sometime. I'm kind of waiting on AI art to get better so I don't have to draw everything, but we still can't get a tree person, which is kind of important for the setting. AI art just don't want to do tree people for some reason. Screw those guys. Discrimination against treeple. They're called trell, actually. But yeah, AI doesn't like tree people. At least not the way I draw them. That's the biggest thing AI has kind of going against it, is that it might be able to make things that look alright and even are anatomically correct much of the time. But when it comes to actually trying to get it to make what you see in your head, that is a pain. Such a pain. So anyone who has like any kind of creativity that they know what they want and they just need somebody to do it for them, you're gonna be better off getting an artist. I don't want to draw more triple Kohath. I already drawn enough. It's a pain. I gotta draw creatures now. We gotta draw weirdo cartoon animals and meat plants and tree birds. Oh, there you go. Tree birds. There we go. That's almost like a tree person, right? I have no idea what this layer has on it. I think it's an empty layer that I just made and left. Alright. We need a darker red. For that. Color their little combs. Honestly, the chicken nuggets are actually kind of cute. I don't know if I'd want to eat them. They're like tribbles. Chick-fil-A tree needs a cow to nurture it. Cow creature to nurture it. I have been thinking about thinking that some of these types of meat plant thingies might produce milk too. It'd be like nectar with a flower or something that attract pollinating things to come and drink from it. And then the farmers could go out every day and milk their cow plants. Does Gumbo use his trunk to drink tree milk? That could be a thing, actually. Since it is kind of a butterfly elephant creature, that would absolutely make sense for it to drink tree milk and pollinate the cow plants. Alright. Let's get some scenery on here. Just a little bit to kind of give it some atmosphere. Probably could just use a multiply layer to put the shadow on this guy. Or this girl. I don't know. Can the hive fly? No. I specifically chose not to give it wings, because it is supposed to be immobile. Baba Yaga Treehouse. Just make your treehouse out of the chicken bush. There you go. That's all you gotta do. Not sure what kind of properties the chicken bush structure would have. You know what? Let's... Oh, wait. Got it all on the same layer. I'm just gonna select all the things and put the detail of the nugget on its own layer. Uh-oh, what did I do? Why is it all gone? What happened? Oh wait, the folder is a clipping mask. What the hell? Why would it do that? There we go. Whoops, no. There we go. I'll put that up there. We'll put this in the other folder. Nugget stack. And now we get to label them. Got the chicken nugget and the chicken hive. Maybe we should go with a brown color. A little more neutral. Here I am fretting over the color of the text in the page.
No need to squint on quality if you don't have to.
Got plenty of time anyways. Usually these draw streams I go for like 3 hours and barely get anything done. What the hell am I looking for? Tonal correction. That's what it's called on this program. There we go. Of course, I forgot to add the shade color to my palette here, or the highlight color. Just want to go back in and kind of feather that. Do the nuggets sleep? Man, I don't know. I don't think that's really important personally. I'm not sure where the nuggets would sleep. Maybe they just curl up in the crooks on the thing's feet. Feetses. You love the idea? Well, thanks. Usually when I tell people I'm drawing meat plants, they find it odd. Can the shells be used for anything? Probably not. I mean, they're probably just like regular old eggshells. The eggs themselves, I'm sure you could cook up like a plain old egg would. So you can go out to your hive house and collect some of the nugget eggs every day for your scrambled eggs in the morning. Don't want to take too many of them, otherwise there won't be enough nuggets to feed the hive. You gotta make sure you got your you got food sources nearby for the nuggets to bring back to the hive so they don't die out. Here we are talking about the agronomics of chicken nugget hives. This is like 6 layers of world building. What else can I do to this thing? Anything? Is it complete? You'd be a nug keeper. How does the rooster's line regard this plant? Probably the same way that a Cree bean would regard regular beans. I don't think they think about it too much, honestly. With contempt and disgust. I don't think even semi-intelligent chickens would really ponder the existence of things like this. They are still chickens after all. Undead chickens, but chickens nonetheless. Chickens are pretty dumb. Where can you find the rest of these creations? Ooh. Let's see. I have a wiki. Let me see if I can put it in the chat for you. But a chicken hive is kind of a new thing. Most of the stuff on there is of these guys' variety. The Pokemon type of things. Alright. That should get you to it. There's quite a bit on the wiki already, but not much in the way of meat plants and other things of that variety yet. I'm working on it. Hey, Monday night shitpost. I've had my Odyssey window closed. Otherwise, I would have greeted you earlier. Welcome to the stream. You refuse to believe Cree Bean isn't absolutely terrified when they see bean soup. They may not have corpses, but biting still hurts them. Also, quite a lot not on the wiki, unless you've updated, in which case, my bad. I have updated it, but there's still quite a lot not on it because it takes a lot of time to do it and write all the things. But yes, there's a lot not on the wiki. Some of that stuff can be found on my Minds page, though. You just have to dig for it a little bit. You can probably search for Crytures in the tags and you'll find more stuff. Crytures with a Y, of course. That's the worst part about naming it this. Like, it works fine when you're on the internet all the time, because people can just see, okay, it's spelled with a Y. Crytures, whatever. Doesn't really matter, they can spell it right. But then when you're talking to somebody, like at work or something, and you're like, yeah, I'm working on a game, and they're like, oh, what's it called? Well, it's called Crytures, but it's spelled with a Y instead of a EA, because it's a portmanteau of crystal creatures, you see? And just such a long-winded explanation. When you first heard about the meat plants, you were thinking like sausage link vines. I thought of sausage link vines too, but then I also thought, that's kind of boring. And I was going with the sausage link vine type of thing for a while, but I couldn't really figure out how it would actually work. Like, I don't even know how actual vines work. What's up with those things? But yeah, I think having them like this is a more interesting direction to take personally. Give it a subtitle to distinguish it. I don't even know what I'd call it in the subtitle. Kind of bugging me how this is darker than, or lighter than the shadows. Not ready to leave yet. It's getting close to lunchtime, actually. Maybe I should just wrap it up pretty soon. We're on the 3rd hour. Creatures, the creature-ning. Yeah, Skunk's Workshop, I have, some place test sessions on my Odyssey and YouTube channels, but they're pretty long, and Koheth is in some of them if you want to see what the game's actually all about. 9 p.m. where you're at? Hey, it's about 9 p.m. where I'm at, almost. Yeah, for me, lunchtime means almost the middle of the night because I'm a night shifter. My normal lunchtime is like 9:30. Which really sucked when they had me on 12-hour shifts this week. Because it's like, you come in at 6, and then you have lunch at 11. What the hell is open at 11? You just have to bring something to eat all the time. Can't go to Burger King or Arby's or anything like that, because they all close. Lame. Let's see. I'm about to wrap it up. Then I could send you guys to a raid somewhere. Y'all on Twitch. Yeah. Lunchtime on Dice Bag time is a little different, even compared to the time zone I'm in. Really, how the hell do you even do a raid? I've never done this before. Raid channel? Let's see. I think there's only one person I'm following that's actually streaming right now. And I got way too many tabs open. I'm getting confused. Alright, well, I'm gonna pop out to the loading screen, and I'll see if I can find somebody to send you guys to. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Bye!